everyone, it's Nancy. I'm back with part 2 of our cake mix box cookbook / recipe journal. So I didn't want to sew the signatures on the video because last time I did that it was a disaster. I was a little nervous, and I think I would think everybody knows how to sew a signature, but if you're new, there are a lot of great girls out there that do it on video. Tracy Fox does it, a real good one. That's how I kind of picked it up too. So, but I did in my little gardener's diary, I did sew a signature in, but until I feel like I want to do it on video again, I'm going to say look at somebody else's on how to sew a signature in if you're not quite sure. But I wanted to go through some of the steps that I did already because it would be like drying time, and I didn't want to do it on the video with you. So as I said last time, we covered the inside cover with ripped up old recipes, all different which ways, and I love how that looked. So once I did that, I did sew around with my machine. I set my machine on a 3.25 stitch and went all the way around, and I love how that looks. Okay, the second thing I did was I made myself a template. Let me find that template. Whatever happened to my, oh dear, hold on. It's around here somewhere in my stuff. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I measured the spine here, and I said it was 1 3/8 on my box. Okay, so I measured out a paper 1 3/8 by the length, which was on my box here, it was 7 inches. So I just measured it and made a paper template. The size, the width, which is 1 3/8 on my box, and the 7 inches here. I cut that piece of paper. I folded it in half exactly. And then I folded in this side to the middle and this side to the middle, because we're doing 2 signatures. So that's how I figured that out. And then, so I drew the line so you would see it. I drew the line down the middle on the middle fold, and then I drew a line on each side. Then I measured where the middle was, put 2 dots and punched them, and then 3/4 inch from each side and punched that. Then, okay, so we sewed around the cover here. Okay, made my template for the signature sewing in. What I did was I took a piece of fabric and I just ripped it the length and the width that I wanted, which was slightly over. It doesn't matter, you could do what you want. You don't even have to put fabric if you don't want, but I think it you could put paper if you don't have fabric, and it does strengthen it here. So I took a piece of paper, fabric, and I fabric tacked the fabric in first. Once that was dry, and I always let everything dry overnight, I dried that. Then I put my template down, and I took a marker and made a dot in each of the holes that I had made on my template here. Okay, so then I knew where to sew my signatures in. Now I want to show you the signatures. I have a lot to show you. Okay, so I made a dot after this fabric dried on here. Okay, I made the signatures, and I told you I did round the corners of the box, and I rounded the corners of all the pages in the signatures. So I think I have 8 or 9 pages. So and I always link below what I'm using. So I put the signatures in, and I'll show you what I did. There's that page, and then I have ledger, tablecloth, add. I have a page from the actual vintage cookbooks, the church cookbooks. I have coffee dyed paper. Now, I loved so much how we did the backing here, the inside cover here. I love this so much that I thought I want to make some bases for tags and journal cards doing the same thing. So I know I'm jumping around here, but hold on. So what I did was I had some legal size manila folders. Doesn't matter what you have, whether you have regular size, legal size. You don't even have to use manila folder, but I just thought I'd use it because then the back is ready for writing. What I did was I cut it in half, and I did collage more recipes all over the two pieces of the manila folder. And I thought, you know, we'll use this as bases for like pockets, tags, whatever, because they're so neutral, and then everything else will pop right off it. Then I thought, well, gosh, I think it'd be really good to make a copy of it before we cut it up and actually make it another page in the journal. So once I did that, I put this in my printer, my copy machine, that, you know, just to copy it. And I made some pages. I made just, I just did them on both sides. And I made a page for each signature. And I thought, oh my gosh, isn't that the cutest? So that's what I did there. And then I have more tablecloth, my tablecloth, and the ad. I have a doily that I folded in half on this signature, the first one. Gail's feed sack and the vintage doilies, more the other side of the coffee paper, and so on. Here's the middle of the signature. I sewed it in with a black wax thread. I'm leaving these tags here because I have an idea of what we're gonna use, a little something to decorate these. So I left it like that. Okay, and this is still the first signature. Here's the other side of the doily, the pattern. Here's the other side of the paper that we copied. Okay, and the other side of the ad, ledger. Okay, that's the first signature. And see how pretty that looks with the fabric in there? I really thought that looked pretty. So here's the second signature. And I kind of used the same papers, but kind of changed them up a little, because once we put ephemera in here and decorate the pages, it's going to look really nice. Another page from the cookbook, ledger. Here's my other sheet that I made, and I kind of, you know, changed it up a little when I made the copy, the middle, and so on. Okay. All right. Okay, so then once I figured out my signatures, I cut my pages to size. I rounded all the corners, okay? Then I sewed the two signatures in. I already had marked it in here, and then I sewed it right through with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, okay? After I sewed those in, what I did was I took another piece of the fabric and used fabric tack glue, and I glued it around. I just kind of measured, you know, how much I wanted to cover. So you could just do what you want. And if you don't have fabric, you can do paper, you can do doily, lace, whatever you have. So I just used a piece of this vintage fabric. And then after that's dried, I glued on some trim that I had. And I think it looks super cute, right? So for the closure, this is going to be our closure. What I did was I had this button down here is a vintage button. This one on top isn't, but I picked this like blacky brown to kind of pick up the chocolate frosting on the cake here. And I picked a yellow button to go with the cake here. And I sewed it on with the same wax thread that I did the binding with. So how you do this, and here's just a vintage button as well. So I took the main button, it just has 2 holes on these buttons. I put it in the middle, measured to the middle, put the button down here, and use my pen and mark the 2 holes of where I lined up the button where I wanted it to go. Okay, after I lined up the marked the 2 holes from the button, because the buttons only had the 2 holes, not 4, I used just a pokey tool, and I punched through those 2 holes. Okay, I threaded my needle with the black wax thread, and so I lined up the yellow button on top of this black button, and then I picked another 2-hole smaller vintage button here. So what I did was I stuck the needle and thread a couple times through all of them with the ends up here, and then I tied a square knot here. Okay, but what I did was, you don't want to put it tight. If you can see, it's kind of loose here. You need some give here, because the closure is going to be here. What I did was I have some elastic cord, and I just use gray cord because it's kind of neutral and goes with everything. So what I did was I measured up, let's see, what did I measure up here? 2 inches. 2 inches from the bottom, 2 inches from the top. I marked it. I used my eyelet setter, poked 2 holes, put 2 small white eyelets, threaded it through. So this is what the inside looks like here. And I didn't cut any of the elastic yet, because I don't know how full it's going to get, so I didn't want to like finish this off yet. But what you do is then this just kind of comes around, and because you gave it some give here under the button, that will go under the button, and it will expand. This journal is going to expand. You see how much room we have to play with in there? We have a lot. So I'm not tying it for sure yet, but I found these cute letter buttons in my jar. And look, I put Kiss the Cook. And then, of course, when I make sure that this is the size we need, I'm going to tie them off securely and cut them so these long excess elastic will not be here. And I thought, how cute is that? Kiss the Cook. If you want, you can just put beads, if you just have beads, if you don't have letters. But I think you could pick these letter little beads up at like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, maybe even the dollar store. I don't know. But I had them, and I thought, well, that would be the perfect thing. I just love it so much. So yeah, so that's the button closure. So how I did this, I don't think I told you. All I did was I slid a credit card. You can just slide an extra needle under there. I just kind of put this there to give it some height, and I sewed it back and forth through this button up to the top 2-3 times, tied it off, and then took these out. So now this has some give under here, and that's because you're going to close it with this, and then these cute little charms or beads, whatever you want to do, put there, will hang there as a decoration. We'll trim those off at the end. It closes like that. It has a lot of give to it, so it can grow now, and then it's really nice on the back. So that's how I did that. So now we have, so you can make some master boards with some of the vintage recipes from your book. If you don't have a manila folder, you can use old scrapbook paper you don't use anymore. You can use cardstock. You can use book page, whatever you want. But I just had this, and I thought, well, this will be good because you can already write on this here. And then I don't know if I'll need more, but I made 2 of them. So we'll see how far this takes us, you know. But I thought that's a good start. So let me move that out of the way. And then, okay, so we have this cover. Everything is prepped. The signatures are in. And let's see, one more thing I want to tell you really quick. I'm going to use some little sayings and words to go in our journal. And I did print out all those ladies from the kit that I bought. So I have them all ready to go, okay? And so I thought, you know, we need some well, not so much a snarky comment, but funny comments. I thought something funny. So I don't do digitals. I don't know how to make a digital. I'm sorry I can't help you that way. But what I did was I thought of a bunch of sayings that would go with these ladies, and I thought would look really cute in this cookbook or journal book here. And what I did was on my computer, and you could probably do this, I would think, on your iPad too, I'm not sure, or if you have a typewriter, that would work. So I thought up a bunch of sayings, and I used my WordPad on my laptop and typed them up, and I thought we could cut them out in strips and use them as little sayings throughout the journal. So what I want to do is show you what I did. I'm going to leave it here in the screen here, so you could maybe take a screenshot of this. Let me just move that. Oh, I'm sorry, I shook the camera, but see if you could take a screenshot of this. I'll leave it there for a minute. These, I'm going to just like cut these up, and not that we're going to use every single one of these, but I was just trying to come up with a variety of sayings that were kind of funny, but not like, you know, dirty funny or any bad words or anything like that. So yeah, if you want to, you know, I'm just leaving it there. So if you want to take a screenshot or write some of these down for a minute, I think these will be super fun to use in the journal. And let's see what else. I think I'm ready to show you. We can do the very first page in the book, and I'm going to move this now. And so getting back to our book here, this first page here, I wanted to do like a photo. I looked through my Tim Holtz photos, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to start out with something like this? And what I did was I took one of Tim Holtz photos, and you know, they're usually thick. I ripped the whole back off so it wouldn't be so thick. I do that a lot on his chipboards and things like that. So I found this picture in my stash of the house, and these are not real photo corners. You know what I did? I wanted the look of the photo corners. So what I did was I just cut a square, like an even square. I think I did 5/8. I cut 5/8, 2 squares, and I cut the square in half on a diagonal, and then glued it to the corner. So they're going to look like the photos in those old black photo albums, you know, the albums with the black little holders. And I thought that was super cute. And then I inked around the edge. I have a small little doily die that I've had for years, so I couldn't even tell you where I got it from. But you can just use a doily that you have, or maybe you have a doily die that you could use, or just use a doily. And what I did was I used one of the pages from the cookbook, and you could see it's really aged and used. And I cut this little doily out of one of the papers from the cookbook, and I thought, well, that would be cute here. And I thought, I don't know if I thought maybe something like that. And then here's the couple. Now, aren't they the cutest little couple? And I love that this picture has like color, like their cheeks are colored and their lips, and there's some pretty color on here. And I thought, well, look, they're newlyweds. They bought this beautiful home. And so it kind of gives it a story. And I thought I could put them there. And then this little kind of decoration, this came out of one of the kits from KB and Friends, Home Sweet Home. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be cute glued on this doily here? So that's kind of what I wanted to do here. It kind of starts a story of this young newlywed couple, so cute, bought their first home, and probably they have a lot of land. They have farmland. And this is going to be, you know, a little story to go along with this book. So I thought maybe we could start something like that out. All right, so let me, let's see, my book is a little stiff here, so I'm going to bend it a little bit here. So yeah, I used to have those photo covers and the corners, and I don't know what happened to them, but I thought, well, you could make your own just by cutting a square and cutting it on the diagonal. So we're going to glue that in, and I'm going to use my regular glue here. So look through your, if you have Tim Holtz, or maybe you have actual pictures, your own pictures. And I glued those on already, so you wouldn't have to watch me do all that. So let me get some glue here. And I think this is a cute first page for this journal. And like I said, we are going to do something on the front, inside front cover and the inside back cover of this. We're going to do something really cute. So I thought, I'm going to put this here on an angle, glue this on. I like the rounded corners of these pages. It's just, I think it just lends itself to this, the box, because you don't want the corners to be square. Okay, I was going to glue that under there, wasn't I? Let's see here. Okay, so it goes on top instead. No problem. Yeah, I don't know where I got this cute little doily die from. It's been so long, but you can use a part of a doily. If you don't have a small doily, you can use part of a doily. And just, you don't have to use the whole thing. Like that. And then I just cut that out and inked the edges of this. And I just printed all this ephemera from the kit on just some Hobby Lobby basic white cardstock. So it has a little, you know, it's not just paper, it's actual cardstock that I print on for the ephemera here. That's really cute. And then I already kind of grunged up this picture and roughed the edges up and inked around it. And I'm going to use, and I ripped the back off of here too, so it wouldn't be so thick. Oops. So yeah, so make yourself some collage boards for tags and journal cards. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? So that's the couple, newlywed, they bought that house. That's really cute. Home sweet home. I don't know, maybe I'll put maybe a flower there? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull out some Tim Holtz flowers here if I have them. Nope, wait. I don't know, let's see. I have a pack of flowers. I don't know if we can find something small enough to go on it. But, that's cute. Isn't that cute? Let's see if we can find something here without taking up too much time here. I think a red one, maybe something red to go pop out of the fabric that I used, maybe. I want to take up time here, but I'm looking really fast. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a big butterfly. This is super cute. Maybe that, something small. Let's see what else is in here. That's the same one. Okay. I just ordered some more Tim Holtz stuff. Like, I need more of that. I have a whole drawer dedicated to Tim Holtz goodies. And I just thought it'd be easy to put them all in one drawer. And now I know where everything's at. Okay, I think that's the only thing I have. And I think that's kind of cute, don't you think? If I put that there, I think it adds something. Let's see, how are we going to put it? Like that, maybe? or do I put it here like that? Yeah, maybe like that. I like it. Okay, let's glue that on. So we've got our first page done. If you have any questions, I know that I didn't do the sewing online or whatever, but I hope I explained it okay. But if you do have any questions, just leave a comment below the video, and I'll try to help you out the best I can. But I just love this first page idea here of this young couple and a picture of their house, home sweet home, some flowers. Yeah, so super cute, don't you think? So yeah, I don't think I counted the pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't count the doily. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have 10 pages per signature. So it'll get chunked up. It's not too chunky now. As you can see, we have a lot of room we can play with, which is really nice because it will get chunky. It'll get nice and full and thick, and it's going to be so cute. All right, well, I'm going to leave you with this for now because I think I gave you a lot of information now. So yeah, just get your master boards done. Type up your words if you're going to use them. Look through if you have some old photos or Tim Holtz ephemera you can throw in there if you want to do this idea here. And then I'll see you in the next video, and we'll make more ephemera and start decorating the inside of this journal, okay? All right, have a blessed weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.